today we're going to finish up our lesson on area. We started, so this is day 2. So today we're going to look at area of semicircles, or what we could call half circles. So before we launch into that, I want us to remember a couple of things, of a couple of important formulas that we need to use. So the first formula, and it's from this page really, is this formula. Oh, no, not this formula. It's the formula highlighted in yellow here. The radius is 1/2 the diameter. So we're going to want to use that fact today. So we will include this when we write our formulas out. So area is 1/2 the diameter, or sorry, radius is 1/2 the diameter. And then our area formula for a circle is the other formula that we're going to want to remember, is area is pi r squared. So let's look at this first part. So they want area of a half circle. So before we do that, I'm just going to write the radius formula that we said is 1/2 the diameter. And the area of a circle we said is pi r squared. So this is area of a circle. Now, what does a semicircle look like? So a semicircle, or what we could call a half circle, looks like this. So it looks like just a half of a circle. So one way we could think of drawing it is taking a circle and dividing it by 2, and then erasing the other half. So something like this. This is what a half circle looks like. A half circle could also be, if I draw a circle, I could also divide it in half and keep the upper half, like that. So then I would only have this half of the circle. So this could be a half circle too. So those are both half circles. So this is 1/2 circle. This is another half circle. Now there's another way we could divide the circle. We could divide the circle like this. And then this would be a half circle if we erased half of this. So here's my another half circle. And then again, if I have another circle and I divide it in half, I could also erase this half. And then I'd have another half circle. So there's really like 4 options where you could have your half circle. Whoops. So 3, 4. So I labeled sort of the different possibilities for a half circle. So these are all the things. You could have this one, this one, this one, or that one. Those are the 4 possibilities for a half circle. But there's a lot of different ways, though, that you could divide your circle in half. But these are sort of the 4 most common that we're going to see. So how do we find the area of a half circle? Well, we're just going to, just like the drawing is half of the circle, the area formula is going to be half of what it normally is. So the area formula is 1/2 of the area of a circle. Well, we know the area of a circle. We wrote it down. It's right here. It's pi r squared. So area is 1/2 of pi r squared. So that's the formula. Now, so here's a couple of examples to allow us to practice using that formula. So the area of this first example, it says example 4, so it's just sort of picking up where we left off. So the area, notice I'm given from the center to a point on the circle. This is what we call a radius. So the radius is 4 feet. So I'm going to say area is 1/2 pi times r squared. And now I'm going to plug in my 4. So area equals 1/2 of pi times 4 squared. So now here, we'll want to do 4 squared first. So 4 to the power of 2, remember that means 4 times 4. So this is 1/2 of 4 times 4 is 16. And then you can plug that all into your calculator. So you could say, let's just take it piece by piece though. 1/2, 3.14 times 16 is 50.24. And then multiply that by 1/2 or divide it by 2. So this would be 25.12, and this was feet. And then we need to square it. So the area of half of the circle is 25.12 feet squared. Remember, it's always, you remember your area always has to be square feet. Let's skip the middle column and let's do the next one. So I'm given this blue shape. So let's work on this one right now. So this blue shape here, remember, so it goes from we have a point at the center and we go to the edge. So from the center to the edge, remember that's the radius. So if I want to find the area of that circle, I'm going to say area equals, and this is a half circle again. So it's going to be 1/2 pi r squared. And let me put my parentheses around my r. So the radius here, I kind of wrote over it, but it's 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. So I'm going to plug that into my formula. So area of the half circle is 1/2 pi times 7 squared. So to simplify this, this is 1/2 of pi times 49. So you're going to plug that in your calculator. So 49 times 3.14 is 1/2 of 153.86. So here I'm using to the hundredths place. So 2 decimals. So multiply that answer by 1/2. So this would be 76.93 centimeters squared. So that's the answer for that one. Now the middle. So now for that middle part. Whoops. I'm going to do that on another page. So pause this if you need to. Now for that middle part. So for that middle part, for example 5, notice I have 2 different shapes here. I have this shape, which is a rectangle, and this shape, which is a half circle. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to find the area of the half circle. I'll write semicircle. So this is, I'm first finding the area of a semicircle, then I'm finding the area, so second, I'm going to find the area of the rectangle. So this, and then I'm going to add those 2 areas together. So at the very end, I'll add those 2 areas up. So this is sort of my plan. This is what I'm going to do. So the area of that half circle. We know in the rectangle that this is 8, so that means that this is 8. So in my half circle, I'm just going to sketch it here. I know that this is 8. So this, it would be my center about here. So that line goes all the way through the center of my circle and from one point on my circle to another. It goes all the way through. So that's what we call the diameter. So remember, if we want to find the radius is half the diameter. So the radius is 1/2 of 8, which is 4. So to find the area of the circle, I'm going to do area equals pi. It's a half circle. So area equals 1/2 pi times the radius squared. So this is 1/2 of pi times 4 squared is 16. So if we plug that in the calculator, we're going to get area equals 1/2 of 50.24. Divide that by 2, and you get 25.12. And that is inches squared. So that's the first area. The second area, so pause there if you need to. The second area is the area of the rectangle. So I'm going to draw the rectangle. It's 8 by 6. So the area formula for a rectangle, remember, it's area equals base times height. So this is area equals 8 times 6, which is 48. So the area of the rectangle is 48 inches squared. So now I found the area of the semicircle, I found the area of the rectangle. Now I need to add them together. So I'm just going to add these two boxes together. So 48 plus 25.12. So the total area is 48 inches squared plus 25.12 inches squared, which this gets me 73.12 inches squared. So that is the area of that complex figure. So this is the area of this. This next part, find the area of the shaded region. So this is still going to be very similar to the one, it's kind of similar to the one we just did. You still have two shapes, okay? The only difference is now there's a circle inside a shape. So notice in example 7, I have a shape on the outside, it's a square, because it's 10 by 10. So for this one, what you would do is we would take and find the area of the square. So area of square. And we're going to find that area. So here's our square is 10 by 10. So let's do that first. So area there is base times height. So it's 10 times 10, which is 100. And this is centimeters squared. So that's the area of the square. Now we got to find the area of the circle. So I'm going to extend this. So area of circle. So the circle, this length here, this base in the on the square, is the diameter of the circle. So if I want to find, so this gives me the diameter. So I'm going to sketch my circle down here. My diameter is 10. And remember, the radius is half the diameter. So if I want just a radius, so if I want it from here to here, that means this part is 5. So this is my R, because the radius is half the diameter. So to find the area of the circle, and this is a full circle, so area equals pi times R squared. So this is pi times 5 squared. It's not 10 because your diameter is 10. It's the radius. I want to use the radius there. So I'm going to do area equals pi times 25. And when I type this in the calculator, I'm going to type 3.14 times 25. And that gets me the area of that circle is 78.5. And this was centimeters squared. So they want, what's the area of the shaded part? So the part that I'm highlighting in black, what's the area of that part? To figure that out, I'm going to take the area of the square and I'm going to subtract off what's the white part. The white part is the circle. So I'm going to subtract off the area of the circle. So this time I'm going to subtract. So area of square minus area of circle. So this will be 100 subtract the area of the circle, which is 78.5. So you get, let's include units. So this is centimeters squared, centimeters squared. So you get the area then of the shaded pieces is 21.5 centimeters squared. So what we found, this answer, so pause the video if you need for a moment, but this answer gives me the area of this parts that I'm highlighting in black. So it gives me the area of just this part. So for these, you do need to subtract off the area of that circle. So I'm going to let you try 8 and 9. I do anticipate questions on those. We will go over them. So if you do end up having questions on them, please send me a message through Remind, Google Classroom, or email. If you watch our live meet, we definitely went over 8 and 9. If you didn't, then you will want to contact me about those two problems.